Hello, this is a short video presentation on the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. We can look at the equation and we can tell what kind of solution or roots we are going to have by looking at a particular number. If you remember, the quadratic equation is x equals, I hope you remember, opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. b squared minus 4ac, the number inside the radical, is called the discriminant. The discriminant. I always have trouble spelling this word for good reason. Discriminant, R-I. The discriminant, all right? If the discriminant is positive, if it's negative, if in fact it's a perfect square, tells us something about the roots. If you remember from all the problems that you have solved with the quadratic equation, the discriminant was always a perfect square. All right? So, let's make a little chart here. We have the discriminant. If it's a perfect square, like we have been doing all our problems, we have two rational solutions. Two rational solutions. And like I said, all the problems that we have done so far this quarter have had two rational solutions. If the discriminant is 0, there's one rational solution. If the discriminant is negative, we have two real solutions. Or two, not real, I'm sorry, two imaginary, two non-real, two imaginary solutions. And lastly, if it's positive, but not a perfect square, we have two irrational solutions. So, if it's a perfect square, we have rational. If it's 0, we have 1. This will highlight the 2. Rational. If it's negative, we have two imaginary solutions. Can't take the square root of a negative number. Otherwise, not a perfect square, they're irrational. Not a perfect square, they're irrational. All right, let's look at a few super quick examples. You will be asked to calculate the discriminant, find the discriminant, and state the number and type of solution. Number and type of solution. So let's look at 4 super quick examples. Number 1, x squared minus 4x equals 5. Set it equal to 0. Always put it in standard form. And now we have b squared. Let's not do that. We have b squared, negative 4 squared. You can just write 16. Minus 4 times 1 times negative 5. 16 plus 20 is 36. It's a perfect square. Perfect square. We have 2 rational solutions. Calculate the discriminant and give me how many solutions and what type they are. But you got to show your work. All right, number 2. X squared equals 4x minus 5. Set it equal to 0. Subtract 4x. Add 5. And now we have 16. Again, you don't have to write the negative 4 in parentheses there. You can just square it. Minus 4 times 1 times 5. 16 minus 20 is negative 4. I've calculated the discriminant. And now we have 2 imaginary solutions. Imaginary solutions. All right. Imaginary because they're negative. The discriminant is negative. Number 3, 1 equals x squared minus 4x. I'm going to subtract 1. X squared minus 4x minus 1 is equal to 0. 16 minus 4 times 1 times negative 1. 16 plus 4 is 20. 20 is not a perfect square. It is positive. Not a perfect square. I'll just abbreviate that. And positive. We have 2 irrational solutions. Two irrational. And my discriminant is 20. All right, lastly, we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0. B squared, 16 minus 4 times 1 times 4. 16 minus 16 is 0. We have 1 rational solution. If the discriminant is 0, you have 1 rational. If it's not a perfect square, we have 2 irrationals. If it's a perfect square, we have 2 rational solutions. And if it's negative, we have 2 imaginary solutions. All right? I hope this makes sense. These problems really will be very, very simple and have an absolutely, positively great day.